A very good morning to you. This is Saturday, the 15th of August, and today I'm so excited. We're gonna make little wirework fish. I'm gonna show you how to make them. They're really, really cute. I'm gonna turn you down on the mat. I've got Christopher here with me, but he's gonna go off because his cousin is going home today, so he's just got the last few minutes, I guess, to play with him and say goodbye. So I'm going to show you how to make the fish. I hope everybody's all right and everybody had a lovely week. I've really enjoyed designing this project and had some fun with it, making all the little fishes. It's quite easy, isn't it, Christopher?
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell us something about this project?
You make fishes.
Make fishes, yes.
Yeah.
And we made the seahorse as well, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
He's just playing a video on the mat. Right. Go on then, go off and play with your cousin. I've got Simon's going to do the comments for us today, and I'm going to turn you down on the mat and I'm going to show you how to make this. Now, unfortunately today, our website is down, just turning you down. Our website is down. They're having some sort of hardware problem, I guess, so you can't order online at the moment. We have created a kit where you get 10 different colors of seed beads, and you have your spool of wire in there as well. It's enough to make about 15 little fishes or little sea animals. Now, if you would like a kit, the kit is normally $14.99. That today is down to $13.49. So if you would like a kit, please put in the comments fish kit, please, and then we will send you the link straight away when the website is back up. And I suppose to give you a little bit of extra and to say sorry that our website is not working, if you do put the comment in fish kit, please, we're gonna give you free shipping on that one. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, there is loads of you here already. Oh, Sarah's here. We're gonna have to say happy birthday to Sarah because it's her birthday today. I was gonna sing a happy birthday song for her, but I'm tone deaf, so you don't really want to hear me singing. But perhaps we private FaceTime you later on, Sarah, and sing you happy birthday. So very happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Good morning, Ruth, Sandra, Maxine, Alicia, Joe, Jen. And Jenny's saying, hi there, Kitty and Christopher. Lovely to see you from Western Supermare. Good morning, Carol, Diane, Camille, Alison, Debbie, Francis, Karen, another Marion, Gwen, Lucy, Oloranti. I hope I said your name right. Good morning, Camille, Annie, Dee, Jane, Sheila. Oh, there's Victoria, Karen, Lydia, Catherine, Joe. There is Alison. There's so many of you lovelies are here. Right, so to make the fish, it's really, really easy. I left a little bit of a longer sort of wire on this one. I'm going to show you how to do a little loop at the top to turn it into, so you can connect it into charms. Christopher wanted to do sort of a little fake aquarium for the fish, which might do later on. We just need to make a few more. Now, the technique is really easy. The only thing what I guess you would need are the kits come with instructions, and why you would need that, because in the instructions you get your counts and how many seed beads you have to pick up on all of the fishes and all of the different bits of pieces there. So what you can make the seahorse, and I love this clownfish. He's got a little bit of a gummy flippy here, but I think he still looks really, really good. I'm going to show you a small fish how to do it, just so sort of you can get the technique, and then you can start making. Now, the seed beads are in this kit are the FGB seed beads, which are, if you watched our video yesterday, we've been calling them our middle class seed beads. They are sort of between the craft seed beads and the Toho. They are a bit more, or much more regular than the craft seed beads, but not as regular as the Toho, but they are perfect for this project. Right. So to start with, you're going to take, depending of how big you want to make your little fish or little sea animal, you're going to take about a meter of wire. You make something bigger, like the clownfish, you need a little bit more. Or if you want to make something smaller, you need a little bit less. Right, so the colors you get in the kit, you get a lovely, let's focus in, a lovely purple, you get a lovely lighter blue, you get a lovely darker blue. Actually, you get 4 shades of blues, and there is a nice, really light blue, like an ice blue in there as well. Of course, you get your yellow, you get your orange, you get your white, you get black, and you get gold to make the seahorse. Now, which color fish shall we do? Let me know, and we do one. Shall we do a blue one? We could do sort of a light blue one and going into the darker blue. Do let me know. This is I so love this with the Facebook Lives, that you can interact and sort of tell me, or we could do a purple one, what color fish you want, and we're going to make that one. So do let me know which color you like the best. Oh, I can see quite a few of you are wanting the fish kit. Hopefully by 12 o'clock our website is going to be fixed, and then we can send you a link. Now, the tools I'm going to be using, you don't really need much. I do like to use a wire straightener, because as you going through and putting your beads on time to time, I just run the wire straightener at the end of my wires to make it nice and straight, and then it's easier to put the beads on. But it's not necessarily. You can sort of just run your finger up it to straighten it up as well. I'm going to use a cutter, any cutter what you have. I can even cut this wire because it's quite thin, 0.3 millimeter, with my scissors. And I'm just gonna, I have a little chain nose pliers here. If I'm having trouble pulling the wire through, or it didn't pull enough, then I can just help it by sort of pulling it, just give you a little bit of extra strength for your hand. Right, so what color we have got?
Something.
Yellow, blue, blue and purple. Yellow and purple, we have a lot. So shall we do yellow and purple? Right, I'm gonna get these other ones out of the way. We're gonna need a black seed bead for the eye. So I'm just gonna put a couple of seed beads at the top here, because we're gonna need that in a minute. So shall we do the main body in purple, and then we just put a few freckles of yellow in there for a little bit of sort of decoration. So I'm just gonna put some seed beads there. Come on, camera, focus on us. And I'm gonna take them out just slightly a little bit, because this webcam, when you got so much stuff in the background, it does have trouble to focus. Focus. Sorry, you're gonna see my hands. Come on, let's focus. Focus on my nails. That's it. Very good. Right, so we're gonna start off by creating sort of coming from the nose. Now, depending on what shape of fish you want to do, you're going to pick up more or less. So we started a little blue one with last night, and here we started with 1 seed bead. So that creates a very pointy end. If you start with 2 or 3 seed beads, you're going to have more of a curved end at the end. So I'm going to start with just having 3 seed beads. I'm going to pick up 3 of these purple ones, and I'm going to let them go all the way down into the middle. And then I'm going to take my next row of seed beads, which is still going to be 3. And I'm going to pick it up on 1 wire. I'm not going to let this to go all the way down, because I just focus in. That's it. I'm not going to let this to go all the way down. I'm going to take, so my end is sticking out to the left. I'm going to take the other end from the left and go and cross over in these beads to the right, just like that. And now I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to make sure that I got equal length of wire on both sides. Now, when you're pulling your wire, make sure that you don't kink it. And by kinking it, I'm going to show you what I mean. And I'm just going to pull this nice and tight. Because we're working with wire, you can sort of flatten it and shape it to the shape you want to do it. But our fish is going to be 3D. So if I show you from above, you can see as we're creating this loop, we're jumping from one side to another all the way to the top. The fish is, this one's sort of a little bit flat because fishes are flat, but if you come to, when you come to do the seahorse is more sort of a 3D shape, because here the front and the back is different count of seed beads. With the fish, the front and the back rows are always going to be the same count of seed beads, but when I start doing it, it's going to be all clear to you. So now from 3 beads we're going to jump up to 5. So I'm just going to pick up 5 seed beads onto one of my wires. 5. Focus. And I'm going to take the other wire from the opposite through all of those seed beads, and I'm going to pull this up. Now once you've done your first 2 or 3 rows, it's going to be really easy because it's all centralized. Now, pulling it tight. So if you can see a little bit of wire on one side, you need to pull on the opposite end. And how I do that is I hold the wire, which is nice and tight against the beads there, with my thumb and index finger, and with my other hand I'm just going to pull the wire, and you can see how that just tightens up and our loop moves into. Now doing if you wanted to, let me just pull this out so you can see. So I don't know if you remember, I think that was the very first video we did, making a little petals with wire and crystal beads, and Sarah done a little flower brooch. Now that was done in a very similar technique, but when we were doing the petals, we were keeping the beadwork nice and flat. If you looked at it from the side, it would be nice and flat. What you want to do with the fish is to have one loop at the front and one loop at the side. So you're building up a more of a 3D shape. So I'm just going to add the next row. When we add a few more rows, you're going to see how it's all building up. Just get a few seed beads. Come on, camera, focus on us. 1, 2, 3. I have ordered a new camera, HD camera, and it came yesterday, but the lighting on it is not as good. So I am going to be looking for another one. So this focusing is going to be, just going to play around with the settings. Right, so again, I put 5 on there, come from one side to the other side. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. Now I can maneuver it before I actually pull it tight. So if this is the front of the fish and I want this loop to go to the back, before I pull it tight, I turn my work. So as I'm pulling it tight, this loop is going to go to the back quite naturally, just like that. So we got like a little nose, and we got the first 2 rows here done. Now we're going to move along, and the next row we're going to add our eye in. So I'm going to pick up 3 of my purple onto one of my wire. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to pick up a black for the eye, and then I'm going to pick up a further 5 of my purple beads. Again, just take it down just a little bit, and then I'm going to come with the wire from the other side and go through all of the seed beads. And that's what you're doing all the way through. You are just looping your seed beads on there. going to pull this up nice and tight again. Again, as you can see, if I bring it up nice and close, so you got your front, you got your back, front and back. Again, I'm going to turn this so the loop goes to the other side. And we have, if you look at it from above, you're going to have this little zigzaggy pattern there. Pull this nice and tight. As we're increasing the size of the loops, now I'm going to do an eye on the other side as well. Now this is quite important that, oh, my watch has just started talking to me. So this is quite important. So if your eye is on the side, sort of towards your right side, and then you want to do an eye on the other side, so you start picking up your beads to the wire. And so you're going to pick up 3 purples first, then your eye and the 5. So the eye on the fish on both sides is going to end up in the same position. So I'm just going to pick up 3 more purples again. I'm going to pick up a black, and I'm going to pick up another 5 purples. Now we on the next row, then we can start introducing some of the yellow in there just to give a little bit of color, but you could do it any color really you like. I'm just going to take this down again, and this is why I said as you go along you might have your wire become a little bit sort of wavy, so you can either straighten the end with your hands, or you can take your wire straightener and just run it across so you get a nice and needle-like straight wire there. So it's so much easier to go through your beads if the end of your wire is straight. And again, I'm going to pull this down again. Now this is on one side, so I'm going to turn it so the loop is going to end up on the other side. I'm just going to sort of flatten the fish a little bit, form it with your hands as you go along. Make sure your sides are nice and tight. That's it. And now we're going to jump up and we're going to pick up more beads, and I'm going to introduce a few of the yellow beads as well. So on this row, how shall we speckle it? So the eye going to be up at the top, so I'm just going to come up and pick up a sort of a pattern, just adding a few little speckles to it. So I might do 1 purple, 1 yellow, 1 purple, another purple. Let's just do 2 here, and the next row we can do 3, sort of alternating it. Don't forget you need to do this twice, so on the other side is going to have the same pattern as well. And then I'm just going to pick up another 6 purples because I'm still increasing the size of my fish. So altogether I want about 11 beads on here. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. On the previous row we had 9. So I've got 11 here. And again, you can line the ends up and just sort of push your beads across. It's whatever the most comfortable for you to do. And I'm going to pull this up tight. Ooh, seahorse is getting caught in our work. Naughty seahorse. Again, so that previous row, if I turn it out now, you can see is at the back, so I need to go to this side. And I'm just going to pull it nice and tight. And again, I'm just going to maneuver the wire where I want to be. So I'm going to do the same pattern on the other side because my yellow beads at the bottom here. So I'm going to start my pattern on this side, and I'm going to pick up the same pattern. So I'm going to pick up 1 purple, 1 yellow, another purple, another yellow, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 purples. So just making sure both of the sides are the same side. And I think we're going to jump up for one more size. So from 11 we're going to go to 13, and then we're going to start to reduce the number of seed beads in the further after sort of the next rows, and you're going to get a little nice round fish. So again, I came from the other side. I'm going to pull this nice and tight. So again, my loop is on this side, so I'm going to take and maneuver it to where I want the wire to go. So now on the next row, because I want this yellow is sort of a little bit of a speckledy finish, I'm going to start with a yellow, then pick up a purple. Let's do 3 yellows in this row. Another yellow, another purple, another yellow. So that's 5 beads, and we want to get to 13, so I'm going to pick up 8 more of the purple ones. Now, unfortunately, if you just joined us, we're making our little beaded fish here. There is a kit available on the website, but unfortunately our website is down this morning. They're doing some maintenance or some sort of thing on there, and the kit is $14.99 usually. It's $13.49 today. And just move the end of that tip so I can easier pick up those beads. And if you put fish kit please into the comment section, then we will email your link once it's back up and running. And to sort of say sorry and give you a little bit of extra, we're going to give you free shipping on the fish.
What beads and what size are you using?
Right, so I'm using FGB seed beads. If you haven't watched our video from yesterday's live, do check it out, because we went through and I showed you all the different seed beads, what's available and what's the difference between them. There's a sort of a nice little educational video. These are FGB seed beads. They are size 12. I'm going to pull this nice and tight again, and I need to repeat this pattern, so I have this pattern on the other side as well. So again, I'm going to pick up the yellow, purple, another yellow, and then 8 more purples. And I'm going to take my wire through, so the end of this wire is facing to the left, so I'm going to take the other end from the left and take it through all the beads going to the right. It's a very simple technique.
Does the kit have the wire in it?
Sorry?
Does the kit have the wire in it?
The kit has the wire in it, yes. Simon, just sort of reading your comments and letting me know that I'm just sort of focusing on the make here. It's so nice when I'm able to do that. So sorry if I miss any of your comments. I will go back later on and check it myself as well. But if any questions are there, Simon is going to read it out to us. Right, I'm just going to pull tight on both sides as well. I think it's quite important to pull tight the edges, because if all of a sudden one of the loops a little bit bigger, then your fish is going to be, have a little bit of a gap on one side. So I think that's probably about the widest I want to go with this fish. So we're gonna maybe do another one with 13 seed beads here, and then we're going to start to reduce it going to the back. So shall we add more speckles for the yellow? I think maybe I add it's you can design it. This is the beauty of this. You can design it as you go along. So I'm going to add about 3 purples at the bottom and take this yellow sort of towards the middle of the body.
What size is the wire?
The wire is 0.3 millimeter. And I'm just going to pick up one yellow, another purple, and another yellow. So altogether I got 6 here. So I need to pick up another 7 to be the same size. And the great thing about the wire is sort of sturdy enough that you don't need anything needle or anything at the end. You're using the wire itself as a needle, just like poking at your beads, I guess, and they jumping on there. I'm just using like a fleecy material on my table, but you know, you bead mats and they could be really good help as well. And I'm just going to pull this up, so that's gone to the, just need to straighten this out a bit. Make sure I got one at the front and one at the back, and pull this up nice and tight. Now I'm going to repeat the pattern again, so I have the same pattern on the other side. So I'm going to pick up 3 of my purples, straighten the end a little bit. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pick up a yellow, another purple, another yellow, and then 7 more purple. You could use larger seed beads if you want. It will make a larger fish or seahorse or sea creature, I guess. I quite like using these seed beads because they're not too small, so you can still work with them really nicely. And the wire is 0.3. They got quite a large hole, so it goes through it quite easily, even if you have to go back on yourself. And they just look great. I did make a seahorse in a larger size, and I wish after that I finish this, I'm going to show you the difference. I think sometimes when you make them sort of in smaller seed beads, you just get a better effect. Just get this camera to focus. And pull this up again. And I'm going to pull it so my last loop is on this side, so I'm going to make sure this loop goes to this side and just pull it up nice and tight, making sure there is no gaps, shaping the fish as we go. So we sort of we're going to start to reduce the numbers now. So we had 13 on these ones, and I'm going to go back down to 11, sort of get that sort of round fish. And actually we could do sort of a nice more of a round the fish, so I'm going to reduce it. The next 2 rows is both going to be 11, and the next 2 rows after that is both going to be 9. I'm just going to add 1 yellow seed beads here as a decoration. So at this point I'm going to pick up 4 of the purple. I'm going to pick up a yellow to go there. But then it's up to you to, and I need 5 more purples. Where do you want your colors, or how you want to, you could do stripes as well, your own design. But the kit comes with full instructions, and what's I guess the most important thing, because the technique is quite easy, the most important thing in the kit is your graphs. Show you how many beads to pick up in what rows and what colors as well. But after you learn the technique and you made a few fish, you can experiment. The kit makes so many of them. You can make probably up to about 15 of them. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we are 1 bead short, aren't we? Yes. Sorry, I'm going to take this back quickly because we are 1 bead short. It shows you that I can't always count. That's it, we got the right amount. Now you could take your beads down on one side already and then take your other end through it. It's whatever is the most comfortable for you and the quickest way for you to work. I think we all work slightly different way. We all hold pliers differently, and everybody's got their own preference. And I'm going to pull that now. If I turn it on the side, you can see this one is at the back, so I need to come to the front. So I'm gonna, before I pull it tight, I move the loop to the front and just pull that nice and tight. Now I'm going to repeat the same on the other side. So I'm going to pick up 4 of my purple seed beads. I'm going to pick up a yellow one and 6 more of the purple. Now this is definitely something what you can involve the children in. Both Lucy and Christopher had a go and they both loved it. Christopher, bless him, he's got such a good imagination, and he already said, oh, we could make like a little aquarium and we could put the fish, and perhaps we could do some coral later on to put it at the bottom with the seed beads, and that would look really good. And I'm going to pull this down again. Now this one is at the back, so I'm going to maneuver it that this loop is going to come to the front. Nice to shape it. I think she's shaping up quite nice. This is going to be a girl, I think. Should we put one more seed bead up here so the color is sort of coming up on her? So now I'm going to reduce it again. So here we got 11 seed beads. In the next 2 rows I'm going to put 9 seed beads, and I want this yellow to move up one, so I'm going to have to put on 5 purples, 1 yellow, that's 6, and another 3 purple at the top. Oh, how about dinosaurs? Oh, well, Christopher already given me a list that we need to do a dog, we need to do a cat, we need to do. There were so many different animals on there, and I think we will be experimenting with loads of different animals. It's just working out the right pattern really, and there is a few different techniques. The fish is probably the easiest one to do. So when you start, or if you're a beginner, start with the fish, because in like the structure like this, the front and the back loops are exactly the same amount of seed beads, and the seahorse is probably a step up from it, because with the seahorse you have some of the back loops are smaller than the front loops, to creating that lovely shape, the lovely big belly for the seahorse. And actually I'm showing you, I can bring it in and show it to you. So the back loops are smaller than the front loops, so you're creating more of a 3D sea animal here. However, this is a little bit more trickier because you have to form your loops. It's still very, very easy, but if you're a beginner, start with a fish and then progress on to the seahorse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, picking up the yellow. But you can design them, once you learn the technique, you can design them as you go along, and you can make all sorts of different animals and different bits and pieces. It helps if you got like a picture in front of you. So if you just pull up, pictures of marine life fishes, it helps you where to put your colors and just sort of try to copy it. And I'm going to pull this loop again, and now reduce it down to 9. In the next row I'm going to reduce it down to 7, so I'm going to pull this nice and tight, and as you can see, our little fishy shape is forming. This at the bottom. I think I'm going to make this at the bottom. That's it. Now I'm going to reduce it to 7. I think I'm going to stop the yellow because this little sort of speckle is just enough for her. And perhaps we do the tail yellow. I think that's going to look really good. So I'm just going to pick up 7 purples this time. Don't forget you're doing 1 loop for the front and 1 loop for the back. 2, 3, 4.
Is the seahorse design in the kit?
7. Yes, the seahorse design is in the kits as well.
And how many designs are in the kit?
There's 5 designs in the kit. So you get a lovely selection of different sizes of fish and the seahorse. And different shapes as well. Right, and I'm just going to take my other wire from the other side and pull this up nice and tight. And as you go along, you can see that as your wire getting shorter at the end, it's easier to work with, and I guess, well, you're reducing your rows as well, but it becomes a bit quicker. So as you can see, my end is quite a bit sort of got this little wave in there. So I'm just gonna go with my pliers and just straighten it up so it's easier to pick up the beads. And I'm gonna do that for both of them as I go along. Only just time to time. So we're picking up 7 again. 2, 3, 5. Oops, I just pinked those ones. And 7. And I'm gonna take the other end through from the other side just to form my next loop. So if you just joined us, we are making little sea creatures out of seed beads and wire. We had so much fun with the children creating them and sort of working all the different. Just pull this side tighter so it turns around. So this loop is at the back, so I need to come to the other side and pull this up nice and tight. Now I'm going to reduce it to 5. There is a kit available on the website. Unfortunately, our website is down at the moment. If you would like a kit, please put fish kit please, and we will email you the link or like message you the link here on Facebook once the website is back up and running. Hopefully it will be about 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you do put the message in fish kit please, we're going to give you free posting and packaging on it, and usually they are $14.99 and today they are $13.49 to buy. So I'm just going to pull this up. We're almost done with the body. I'm just going to go and add another 5 to the back, and I think it's probably about the right shape sort of to come back out with the tail. And the tail I think we're going to do in yellow, and the fins as well, and it's going to make it look like a nice little fish. What we're going to call this fish? Purple and yellow. Has anybody can give us a nice name? We kept giving names to the little fishes yesterday. It was really cute. So any suggestion what we're going to call this fish? Right, I'm just going to pull that nice and tight. And the tail, again, it can be as big as you want. I'm going to go back out with 7 and do 9, and I think that's about going to be the right size. So I'm going to do the yellow. I'm going to pick up 7 of the yellow ones. 3. Sarah always says to me that she can't.
Pimple.
Percy Pimple. Oh, a nice name.
Christopher.
No, we can't call it Christopher.
One Christopher.
What one? Simon just said next to me, one Christopher is enough. Wouldn't want another one. One is more than enough. Bless him. I wouldn't be without him, but sometimes he can be. Oh, I didn't go through the last bit, so I got a little kink at the end. I'm just going to straighten this out so it goes through easier, all of my beads. Because if you wire nice and straight, you can run through the whole row at the same time. And just pull this up. I'm liking this purple fish. I think she's going to look really cute. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to pick up 7 here as well. And then we're going to go to 9. And then see how big is the tail then. And either step, or we could add a yellow on the yellow fin at the end. Sometimes they have their main body color coming back in. So we could add a row of purple, and I think that would look really cool as well. Just pull this down.
Starlight.
Starlight. Ah, thank you, Chef. Starlight sounds really nice as well. I think it's so difficult because, like, we live near the beach and you go down and, well, just around, you see so many dogs. And then I'm always intrigued what people call their pets. And we got a lot of teddies and a lot of sort of, but then you get some really unusual names as well. And the other day, this couple was down at the seafront walking their dog, and the dog was running off, and their dog was called Whiskey. And I thought, like, what a quirky little name to call your dog Whiskey. But you can name your pets whatever you like. Our cat is called Sydney. She's a female cat. But I don't even know how we come up with the name Sydney.
Sarah or Sammy?
Oh, because it's Sarah's birthday. Shall we call her Sarah? I think that would be really cute.
Sarah?
And then that's you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more. You're gonna call her Sarah.
Slippery Sarah.
Slippery Sarah, Simon's saying. Now we're gonna call her Sarah, and actually Sarah is coming back for a few more design days. We're gonna give this to her, shall we? So Sarah, this is your mini you. If you're still watching, lovely. I'm going to make sure that goes to the back and just pull it tight. Now, as you can see, one side is still poking out a little bit more. So I'm just going to hold the tighter end between my thumb and index finger and pull on that wire, which then will tighten up the other side. Did you see it just sort of popped into the shape I wanted to go into? And do another 7 here. 1, 2, 3. I think this is the only thing, like if you can count to, I guess, 20, because you wouldn't really want a larger fish, which don't vent the seed beads, you can do the fishes. And it's a really great way to introduce children to beading as well. Obviously, they have to be supervised, but that's 9. They will enjoy it because they're creating something what they like. But I like these little fishes as well myself. Just put all of them on there from the other side. So Y is 0.3 millimeter wire, and we're working with the FGB seed beads, which are your, how I really loved how Sarah called it the other day. So I started calling them the middle class seed beads. So that's the tail. I think for the shape of it, I think we need an extra row here with 9. This was 9, so 11 seed beads. Shall we do this last row purple just to bring that color of the body into the end of the tail? I think that would look really good. So these rows were 9, so I need to do 11. I'm jumping up by 2. 1, 2, Just keep 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm going to take the end from the other side all the way through, and again pull on both ends so my loop goes all the way down. Just locate that this one, the loop was on this side of the fish, so I want the next loop on the other side. Just pull it up really nice and tight. Oh, I think she's going to look really good, don't you think? Actually, we might just leave it. I'm not going to mirror the last row to the front as well, because I think just with one row it finishes off really nicely at the back. So to work your wire off, don't just cut it off here, because then this last loop can pull off. As you can see, you got this little zigzag of wire path, I guess. You often talk about thread path. Now I'm just going to go under the wire path and pull the wire through. And this is perhaps where you need your pliers just to give that little bit of extra push. And I'm going to do this a couple of times. You can even move along so to come further up and into the next loop, which is just there. I'm going to take my plier again and just pull it up nice and tight. So just make sure you loop your end 2 or 3 times, just like that, so your end is really nice and secure, especially if you're going to do this as back charms. You don't want them to come apart. And I'm just going to trim the end quite nice and flush to the fish. If you make this into perhaps earrings or jewelry, if you wanted to, I would then go and tuck this little end of wire which is poking out right into the coil, so I don't have any pokey feeling there. Repeat the same on the other side, and all is left to do is to do a fin, or 2 or 3 or 4 fins, how many fins you want to add to your fish. And I'm just gonna quickly loop this one more time and I'll show you how to do the fin and how to attach it to the body. Now there is, depending on where you want to add the fin, just pull this up nice and, oh, look at our little Sarah here. I think she looks really great. Can you think? So we could add a fin at the top, we could add a fin at the bottom. I think let's add a fin at the bottom. And the fin, what we're gonna add is, I think we should add the same as we did the tail. So maybe a little row of yellow and finishing off with a row of purple. So when you're making the fin, you're gonna start with the largest part, which in this case, I'm gonna start with the purple seed beads. Now I got a little bit of wire left over here, what I just cut off from the fish, and I'm going to use this one. So whenever you have a little bit of wire left over when you're making your fish, just put it to the side, because the fin, you only need a few inches. It's only going to be small. So the fin I want to make here is probably the widest part, wants to be about 6 beads wide. So I'm going to pick up 6 of the purple. Now the fins, obviously you don't, but you can if you like, have a sort of a front and a back to it, but I just like to make them nice and flat. So that's going to be at the bottom. You can, anytime you can sort of go there and try it against your, the little body of the fish. It looks really cute. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add 4 yellow ones on here. And I'm going to cross over in these 4 yellow ones.
Could you put a bead inside to make it better?
Yes, you could put a bead inside as you go along, like you could put an oval crystal, or well, and not just crystal. I just said crystal because we do sell oval crystals, but any sort of oval, flattish oval bead would work, I guess, because you want one larger bead. If you're adding smaller beads in there, they might come through between your wire. And I'm just going to pull this up tight again. just sort of reshape it, just pushing it down with my finger, and we got our little fin. Now to add the little fin to the fish, you're going to take the end of your wire and you're going to do the same technique what you just did by when we were working off the wire. I'm going to catch the little section in between the rows and pull this up nice and tight. Then I'm going to come along and go into the next loop. You can equally, you could take your wire through a few more beads if you like. Just made a couple of loops. Now I'm just going to leave that wire there. I'm going to come to the other side before I completely work it off, because if you don't like the position of it, you can then go back and reshape it. But I think our little fin is about the right place there, isn't it? And I'm going to loop this around again. And then before I cut it off, I'm going to go back into the fin and go around just the side, just to take my loop around there. I caught one of the seed beads, so this is great if you've got a plier to hand, because you can maneuver your wire easier with it, and wrap it around a couple of times just on the side of the fin, pulling it nice and tight because I don't want any sort of loops there, and then cutting the end off. So I went up into the body, went around a couple of times, then I came back down to the side of the fin and just did a couple of loops there, securing it to the fish. Just stick around one more time. Now if you didn't want a flat sort of shape fin, we could have added like a triangle shaped one, which we added on the other little, I just will show you in a second, the other little fish we have here, the little blue one. And that's it. You could add another one on the top if you like. There's so many different fishes, there is so many different shapes, there is different colors. The possibilities are really nice. I love her. I think she looks really cute. Now if you wanted a pointy little fin, then you would start with one seed beads, and I think this has just only got 3 rows, 1, 2 and 3 seed beads, and there's 2 little fins sort of attached together to the body right there. But that's how really easy it is. If you wanted to add a little, you could add a just add a jump ring into the loop somewhere. If you had a bit of spare wire, you can make a little loop to go onto the top of it, which you could need a round nose plier for. So I would do very similarly, going back, just looping around the same place. I'm just going to pull this up. I'm going to insert my round nose pliers because I only want a tiny little loop here. I'm going to wrap this around 2 or 3 times, so I'm increasing the size of my wrap, making sure I'm going in the same place again, coming through, pulling this up, and actually I'm going to go one more time. So I got 3 little loops. Probably should have left this wire a little bit longer because I only had about 2-3 inches here. Maybe if I had another couple of inch would be easier, but never mind, it will be good. Right, so we got 3 loops going around just like that. Now after you have, or you could have 4 or 5, how thick you want to make this little ring on the top of your fish. I want to bind these little loops together, so on my next loop I'm going to go in, and I'm going to do this with the pliers because this is quite nice, this is small. I'm going to go sort of just loop around, and as I'm pulling the wire through, I'm not going to pull too much because I don't want to reduce any of those loops. I'm just going to keep looping you around, in and out, just pulling it through and binding those wires together. But equally, you could add jump ring to the top and just creating a little loops there. Let's go back with my round nose to reshape it. And I think I'm going to go through a couple more times and just work the end off. Sorry, I think I should have left a little bit longer wire here, but I think you get the idea.
What does the fish kit contain?
So that in the fish kit, you have 10 different colors of seed beads. Let me just finish this fish and I'll show you what you get in it. And I'm just going to work the end off by wrapping it into the little fish here. Just the top of the fish, just wrapping around a couple of times, and that will be nice and secure. And just trim this off. I'm going to go back with my round nose pliers just to straighten up that loop. And then again, you can turn the loop. So if you want it on the sideways, you can turn your loop and you've got a lovely little loop, and you can connect your fish up to, you know, if you want it on you can have his little earrings. I think they would look really cool as little fun earrings, or a bag charm, or anything like, you know, any decorations you want to add to it. Christopher wants to make like a little miniature aquarium, but we're gonna have to do quite a few small fishes, and then he wants a big. I think they will be the perfect pet for everybody because they don't need feeding, they don't need cleaning. They're gonna be really good. Right, let me just get these seed beads out of the way here, and then I show you what you get in the kit. So you get 10 different colors of FGB seed beads. There is a lovely purple. There is 4 different shades of the blue. I love this icy blue. That's what this little guy is. What can we name him? He needs. I think he's a boy because he's blue. Or I don't know. Does boys have to be blue, or boys can be pink or any color, I guess, as well. So you get 4 different shades of your. Come on, let's focus in. Of your blue. If I bring it in, does the focus in a little bit more? Maybe I turn, maybe it's the numbers what's setting it off, the writing on there. But that is just my colour number, so I know which one I'm working with. As I showed you yesterday, there is so many different kind and colours. So you get your white, you get yellow, you get your lovely orange to do a clownfish, and you get black for the eyes, and you get this lovely, and I use these to make all the fish. We use these seed beads. We made a few fish out of this already, and there's still plenty left there. And then you get your 0.3 wire to do your fish. Now I tried the 0.4 wire with them, but it won't work. You need 0.3 to be able to go through nice and easy backwards and forwards on your fish. So yeah, that's how easy it is to make a little fish. And I just want to, there's our little clownfish. I love him. I think he looks really good. But again, you could do different patterns. You could do stripes on them. Instead of doing these little spikes at the top, you could do fins. It's your design, what you wanted to do. And the seahorse, I love the seahorse. He's really cute. I don't know, I think there's something about seahorses, and they were laughing at me at the warehouse the other day because I had the little seahorse, and I'm going to show you the different size because I promised you with the different size seed beads, and I kept going around the warehouse and making like a horse noise, and they saying, "Are you so silly? Seahorse doesn't make a noise." And I said, well, maybe they do. So different sizes. I think using the size 12 seed beads just really makes it cuter and neater. Using a large seed beads, which you can still do, but I think it still sort of opens up a little bit, and I don't know. I think that one looks much neater what you get in a kit, but you could follow the pattern and make, if you got larger seed beads at home and you just want to practice, get yourself used to the pattern, you could make it in larger seed beads. I think the smaller ones look nicer and neater, but it's up to you. That you can make it any size, I guess. You can make huge big ones as well. So that's it for me today. And oh gosh, we've been here, I've been waffling on for an hour for you. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it inspired you. Unfortunately, our website is down at the moment, but if you would like a kit, just put fish kit please into the comments and we will send you the link straight away when the website is back up. If you do put the comment in, then you will get a free posting on there. Otherwise, they $13.49 free posting for UK delivery in within mainland UK. $13.49 today. Otherwise, they are $14.99. I think they're going to be really popular. We will be launching them on Creating Craft soon as well. And yeah, I just hope you really enjoyed it. I do really love them. I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to give it to Sarah next time he comes down. Our little Sarah. Sarah meets Sarah, if you're still watching, but probably she's busy with her family as well. Have a little go. Include your children, grandchildren, nieces. I think it's a really fun a project to do for everyone, and you can design your own. Well, you can make it up as you go along. I hope you have a lovely Saturday. Please share the video so we can get other lovely people inspire. I love inspiring people, as many as we can, I guess, and get into the crafting, because if you look at the finished product, you would think, oh my God, I would never be able to make that. But in reality, as you can see, it's a really easy make, and practice makes perfect. So if you buy the first couple of them, you sort of gonna be finding your way, trying out how hard you have to pull, how to follow the pattern. But by the fifth fish, they're gonna look professional and they're gonna look really, really good. So do have a go. If you do anything, please put a picture up in one of our handmade groups, because I love to see what you make with it, and what sort of patterns and colors and anything, how you mix it with them. Take advantage of the kit as well. I think we only got a limited number of kits because we had to give a huge amount to Create and Craft, but hopefully it will be enough. If you do want, please put fish kit please into the comments and I will email you the link straight away when the website is back up. Do have a lovely Saturday and I will see you tomorrow. Now, when we were doing, what did I put in the earring? I took it out. So yesterday, when we were looking at all the lovely samples of what we can make and do, and it was really good. I found that yesterday's sessions was really good because you've seen all the different seed beads, what you can do with it, and you've been asking to do quite a few projects, so I thought straight away we can get on it. The ginkgo leaf was planned in for later in the month, but I thought we're going to do this tomorrow. So tomorrow is back with me here and we're going to do the lovely ginkgo leaves. And we did listen and we have I put some colors together for you, some little bundles of Tahoe seed beads. So we can check that tomorrow. Have a lovely day and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.